Game 1 of the regular season is in the books for the Spurs, and a lot of people are labeling it as a disappointing one. The fact that Victor Wembanyama's debut didn't live up to the outrageous expectations placed on him is no big deal. It really isn't. Coach Popovich kept all of these guys under a single mindset, and that's to become better each and every day with every game that they play. Losing can hurt, especially in big games, and opening night against a division rival with their own European star, yeah, that's a big game. And despite the loss and the foul trouble Wemby was in, this was a great season opener, and in the thumbnail, I put lessons in losing, where there are a lot in this loss. And we'll start with Wembanyama, because who else? 90% of the viewers, live or at home, tuned in to Victor's debut. Victor ended the game with 15 points on great efficiency, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, 5 personal fouls, and 5 turnovers, all in 23 minutes of action. Now, he had a great scoring run in the fourth, where they highlighted him only scoring 6 on 50% shooting in the first half, but then showed up in the fourth, dropping 9 points, going 4 for 5 in just a 4-minute stretch, similar to what he's been doing in the preseason. But this is the first we've seen him do it in crunch time. It's a shame that it didn't last. He tied the game and got the lead at some point, but Luka and Irving's combined 20 was too much to overcome. Wemby recorded 5 turnovers, which is something I hope is a rarity for him moving forward. I considered 2 to be a result of his bad passing in this game, 1 just a bad screen set on his part, and the other 2 I'm giving all the credit to Grant Williams. It was frustrating to watch him go at Wemby, but he did a good job for the Mavs, not gonna lie. In the 2 bad passes, 1, he crossed it to Devin when he had all this space and KJ to make something happen on that same side of the floor. Not sure if it's just Wemby and Devin's great chemistry built up in the preseason, but Wemby should look to Keldon as another option for any 2-man game from the perimeter. If Wemby wants to be the playmaker, Keldon can be the roll man or pop for a 3. In the second pass, I see what he was going for with 2 Mavs defenders eyeing him, but he takes off too early with a defender in between him and Collins, and as he commits to the pass, Hardaway is ready to intercept because he is in position. If Wemby was patient and passed a step or 2 later, then Zach would have gotten an easy inside bucket. Or, sticking to the original takeoff, if Wemby spotted the help defense behind Collins, he would know that a teammate is open in the corner. And Trey knew this. He even tried to step out to be in better position to receive a kick-out pass, which was too late at this point, and it really confirms that Wemby rushed that possession. Tie game, 16 seconds on the shot clock. Could have been more patient on this one. For the screen, it's both a personal foul and a turnover. I'm not sure if it's allowed in the LNB or the EuroLeague, but Wemby should get used to setting screens in the NBA, especially for ball handlers, where the referees don't leave too much room for errors. And the 2 Grant Williams forced turnovers. The first was Grant knocking the ball off of Wemby after the rebound. For the other turnover, it was called as an offensive foul on Wemby. And again, all credit goes to Grant Williams. Because of the height difference, Williams used it to his advantage. In one fluid motion, Grant hooked Wemby's arm to his head, shoves him enough to back him up, and sells it in front of Tony Brothers to make it look like Wemby was extending his forearm, and even puts his hands up after just to be safe. But Wemby learned his lesson and just made sure to lose his man off ball and just knock it down in his face next time. Devin Vassell, he was looking like a mid-range assassin, going 5 for 7 in the middle, and had that great dunk in transition. Made only 1 from 6 from deep, and it doesn't bother me that it wasn't falling from deep. It's not the same with Keldon's 3-point dip, because Devin is made to shoot from the middle and beyond. And one takeaway from Devin's performance is that he was aggressive to get to the line more than usual, and it reminds me of his one-on-one with Iceman George Gervin.
What you shooting for them free throw line?
My career, 83.
Oh yeah, you gotta get on the free throw line.
Yeah, I got to.
See, what you averaging now?
20.
Free throws.
Leaving a couple at the table.
Come on. That's 25 easy.
Right.
Devin averaged 2.6 free throw attempts last season, making 2.1. In this first game, he basically doubled that. He listened to the Iceman, and if he keeps getting to the line more while keeping the same production in the middle and from 3, he'll average above 20 this season. It's one of the things that Devin has yet to unlock in his game as a go-to move. Keldon Johnson. Keldon has been one of the targets for complaints on why the Spurs lost this game, and it sucks because up until the last few possessions, he was having a great productive game, almost putting up a triple-double, leading the team in assists and rebounds as the second highest scorer of the team, and being a vocal leader for the guys out there. I won't go at Keldon because outside of Jeremy, he has the biggest adjustment from his role from last season. Going from the team's main option to the third is always hard, but he's done a great job with this game. Minus the 2 late game turnovers, he scored less but being more productive in other areas of the game. It's the step in the right direction for him, and his 2-man game with both Jeremy and Devin is a big plus, which led to him being a big facilitator for this game. Trey Jones, a perfect performance off the bench. He was more aggressive in getting his shots than what we're used to. He attempted and made 3s, which were open, but the Mavs went under the screen for both makes. He still keeps the offense going with the second unit. Still a great facilitator. Maybe keeping him in the end was the safe move, but Pop wants his guys to figure things out, and he wants the units to be familiar with each other. This tall ball 5 needs to execute together until the end of the games, while Trey leads the bench gang. Zach Collins. The biggest highlight for him was the block on Luka. Props to Zach. Now I mention it not to put Luka down, but to have that moment as a flash of what Zach could be on the defensive end. He's not the best big on D, and that's not his archetype, but I would like to see him box out outside of the restricted area instead of under the basket where guys can jump over him. But other than that, minus going 0 for 4 for 3, I like what I saw inside the paint. A perfect 6 for 6, but I wish his teammates fed him more inside and recognized that he was matching up well against the Mavs bigs on offense. And finally, Jeremy Sohan. He struggled with his shots, a lot of easy misses, and it makes me think if him having the ball makes it tougher for him to score because he is in a new role compared to his rookie season, which as a facilitator, he's doing fine. This game was similar to his performance versus Golden State, a bad shooting night, but great on everything else. Well, except the D on Luka, who dropped 33. But I want to point out the 9 he had in the second. Luka had 3 easy shots over Jeremy because he bit on all 3 of Luka's fakes. In my notes, I had Jeremy looking gassed after Luka made his 3rd bucket in the second. Maybe that affected his discipline on D, but regardless, I hope he gets comfortable in his new role and get back his mojo on D. The game was, a little frustrating at times, but it was a great game by this Spurs squad, only losing by 7 points when Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving combined for 55 points. Just need some adjustments here and there, and hopefully figure out how to execute at the end of games and not trip and fall in the finish line. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video on the season opener. We'll try to cover as much games in the regular season, and we'll definitely cover the inaugural in-season tournament and maybe more on other Spurs related topics. So join us and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Leave your comments on what you think the Spurs should have done differently. Like the video to help it reach more like-minded fans. And that's it for now. Till the next time.